The first independent, completely free and unbiased source of information and entertainment on the internet, and quite possibly the world and the universe. Ladies and gentlemen, in-betweeners and outsiders, how are you and how are you feeling this glorious Thursday? We can't remember the day, but we can remember that this is the 14th episode of RawCast. So that's 4 more than 10. God damn! Are we progressing fast? So what's the date today? Is it 17? We can't remember. It doesn't really matter. This is RawCast episode number 14. Ladies and gentlemen, in-betweeners and outsiders, how are you and how are you doing? Is everything good with you? Is everything fine, cool, nice and dandy? Yes, it is. Look at us. We are here, all ears, ready to rumble. Yeah, well, it's getting a bit weirder day by day, but the topic of discussion today, because this is a discussion, obviously, we're just sitting here talking, but we are not talking to ourselves, we are communicating, because you are sitting there listening, watching and listening. So we're sitting here communicating and we're talking to you, and if you want to respond to us, you can comment on the comments below, or you can send us an email. We do have an email. I don't know, maybe we have informed you of our email. If we haven't informed you, we're going to inform you of our email. You can send us an email. You can find us on the street and tell us, hey, we really like what you're doing, and you have to keep on doing it because we really like it, and this is what we think about these things, and this is whatever. And then just get in touch with us if you want. If you don't want, don't get in touch with us. It doesn't really matter. We are here, we're doing what we're doing, and the topic of discussion today is guns. Pew, 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 pew. Not finger guns, as in, hey, just regular guns. You know, those long metallic tubes that you put stuff in it, and then fire comes from one end, and there's this projectile in it, which is short and sharp and twirly and just shoots out of the nozzle and then travels at high speeds towards a certain location where it is intercepted by a usually living body, either that be a human or a non-human, that is another type of animal, or a plant or a tree, or even a rock. You know, rocks have feelings. Maybe they don't have the same kind of feelings as you do, but they do have some kind of feelings. Maybe rocks are sitting there thinking, hey, stop crushing me, or, you know, just pressuring me or whatever. But, well, we've got a slight difference in communication mode, so that's why we can't really, communicate properly with them. But in any case, we're talking about guns, not rocks and feelings. That will be a topic for another episode. Guns. Those things that people use to kill each other, and those things that people use to kill other stuff other than humans, which is the same as killing humans, but then again, we're just making the distinction, whatever. I don't know why we're making this thing. Why are we making distinctions? We don't really need to be making distinctions. So guns are these things that kill almost everything. So why do we need them? Why do we need guns? Do we really need guns? Maybe you can comment on the comments below, or send us an email, or give us a shout, or send us a letter, or find somebody that we know or knows us, and just tell him, hey buddy, just tell Rock has this and that, or whatever, or the other. So do we need guns? Do we really need them? Some people are going to say, of course we really need them, because other people out there, not us, other people out there exist, and their heads are a bit twisted, and they would like to, I don't know, they have these urges or whatever to kill and maim and do some damage, and they have guns, and because they have guns, we should have guns, because we need to protect ourselves from those people, which we don't know who they are, but they're not us. So all the others that have the guns, and they're kind of dangerous, because everybody can trust themselves, obviously. Everybody else thinks that everybody else is the problem. So the reasoning goes like this: we need the guns because we are responsible people. It's other people that have guns and are not responsible that are a threat to us. But we need the guns because we can be responsible with the guns. Other people can't, and those people can potentially be a threat to us. So we need the guns to protect ourselves from the people outside. And then shit happens, because if you have a gun, something's gonna happen. I mean, accidents happen. There's a loaded gun in the house. Somebody plays with it. Maybe a child, maybe a dog, maybe your next door neighbor. And you're sitting in the kitchen drinking your milk or tea, and somebody, a bullet, finds you, and you can't enjoy your tea anymore because you're dead. And other stuff happening as well. So guns are there to protect. Some people say. Usually guns are there to, I don't know, they just bring more damage than good. They bring more harm than they do good. And this is not a point of contention or argument. This is what happens. Guns kill people. Obviously, it's not guns themselves. I mean, it's the people behind the guns that kill people, obviously. But the gun helps. It does help. It does make things easier. I mean, if you haven't got guns, you've got knives, or you've got kitchen utensils, or you've got, harsh words, and you can use those to kill other people. But in any case, we are digressing. We're talking about guns. And do we need them? Do we need the motherfucking guns? Our position is that we don't really need them, and we are not really in danger from anybody. Now, somebody's going to be sitting right now on their TV set or looking through their phone on their communal monitor and go, dear RawCast, this is where you're wrong. Because, again, there could be people out there that have bad ideas about themselves and about others, and they've got guns. And they might take their guns and come right to your front door and shoot you, dear RawCast. And RawCast responds that, okay, we're going to take our chances. We're not going to arm ourselves to the teeth, because there out there, some lunatic might exist that might come out with a gun, and we need to protect ourselves. Obviously, this is a nuanced position. We do understand that this possibility exists. But what we should be making sure first, before arming ourselves to the teeth, is to eliminate the conditions under which someone, either us or somebody else, might pick up a gun and come and shoot somebody. And one of those conditions is obviously not having a gun. If you don't have a gun, it's far more difficult to pick up a gun and shoot somebody. So now you're going to ask and say, so what's your position? That we should ban all guns, that we should eliminate all guns, that nobody should have a gun, that people, for example, shouldn't hunt or shouldn't amuse themselves in various shooting ranges? We're not saying that. Obviously, you can't ban things. If you start banning things and there's people that want to use those things, either them being music or guns or drugs or any other kind of paraphernalia or ideas or books or whatever, people are going to go to great lengths to acquire those things and use them and misuse them. And usually when you ban things, people tend to, just aggressively trying to use them, and they end up misusing them. For example, the war on drugs, or everything that, just look throughout history, anything that and somebody tried to ban, they came back, and it came back more aggressively and was bigger a problem. You know the drill. Don't ban things because shit hits the fan. So we're not saying that guns should be banned. We're saying though that guns should not be produced, let's just say, for military reasons. We should abandon designing and building military guns. Okay, you want to build a shotgun so you can go to the shooting range and shoot some clay pigeons? Maybe go for it. You want to develop a handgun so you can go again to the shooting range and shoot a target for your own amusement? Go for it, okay. But now designing and building automatic and semi-automatic and machine guns and rockets and missiles and whatever, obviously this is fucking bullcrap. You know that. And no, it doesn't mean that because you've got a handgun or a shotgun, then you should necessarily be building more and more advanced weapons. I mean, look at the situation where we are now. We are being globally threatened by nuclear weapons. And what are nuclear weapons? They are the logical progression in gun building. So you start with a handgun, and the logical progression is that you keep building bigger and bigger stuff, bigger and bigger dicks. And in the end, you get fucked in the ass right now, as we are right now, because we are all under constant threat of nuclear destruction. Is that nice? Obviously, it's not nice. So that's why we're saying fuck guns and ban guns and not ban guns. Fuck guns. Stop producing all those military grade whatever. So if you want to keep some for your own amusement around or for hunting purposes. And again, we can have another episode into discussing, the use of hunting again, which obviously is not a necessity. Most people claim that it's a sport. Some people are going to say, okay, I'm using it to feed my family, but obviously you don't really do that every day. You do it occasionally. So it's not a necessity, because you can go to your local butcher and get the meat that you want. So people that hunt usually hunt for the thrill of it, for the sport of it. But that's another topic for another discussion, another episode. This is RawCast episode number 14, and we're discussing guns and do we need them, and we are answering our own question, and we're saying no, we don't need them. We just need finger guns. Pew 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 pew. Just for the fun of it. Regular guns, and especially military grade guns, are not needed. So what about the argument that individuals are under threat, and okay, if guns exist, then obviously everybody else needs to have another gun, because you never know when some nutcase or some nut job or whoever is going to pick up a gun and come around your place and shoot you in the face. Now obviously we don't know that, and as long as guns exist, there's going to be a possibility that some nut job obviously is going to pick up a gun and come and shoot you. There are recent examples, and another recent example that spurred this conversation, it was the recent shooting in America, in Buffalo, America, where an 18-year-old guy picked up a fucking gun and went into some place and killed a bunch of people. Now, we're not going to discuss that specific incident, and we're not going to discuss that it was racially motivated and that the perpetrator was white, 18 years old and white, and had a gun and went in and killed a bunch of black people and didn't kill a bunch of white people. That's a topic for another conversation. But yes, should we all have guns because, let's say, some motherfucking nutjob might pick up a gun someday and come and kill us? And in the case of the American Constitution, should we all have guns because someday our government or their government might become tyrannical, so the citizens should be able to defend and save themselves from a tyrannical government? It's all a bunch of bullshit. Obviously, if you want to find reasons why you should be aggressive or why you should be afraid, you're going to find a bunch of them, and they're all going to be bullshit. And we should be really finding reasons why we don't need to be afraid, and we don't need to be hiding from each other, and we don't need to be defending ourselves from each other. That's why I'm saying we don't really need guns. We don't really need guns because we don't have anything to be afraid of each other. We're not really a threat to anybody else, and really nobody is a threat to us. Most people, and when I say most people, when we say most people, we really mean to most people, are peaceful beings. They don't want to get in trouble, they don't want to create trouble, don't want to get into a fight, and most importantly, they don't want to get a gun and come around at your door and shoot you in the fucking face. Most people are going to keep to themselves, they're going to go about their day, not being aggressive. And okay, if we're going to be discussing that small percentage of fucking idiots that have the wrong ideas into their heads, or they've got too much testosterone or other chemicals running through their veins, or they've ingested a lot of the wrong kind of ideas, the wrong kind of idiotic ideas, okay, well, what are we going to do? Are we going to be holding a whole society hostage, or are we going to be terrorizing a whole bunch of people because those few idiots are going to go around and do something fucking stupid? Obviously not. We're talking about guns. We talked about guns. Fuck! This is the end of the show. See you soon.